Greetings and welcome to Awakening Creativity with Nancy Zick. Thank you for choosing to do this sacred painting practice with me today. We are going to be creating a Unalome, and you'll hear more about that as we go along. So this sacred painting practice has opened up for me a whole new world of bringing all that I have learned along my spiritual path and bringing it to the canvas. It is a practice that I encourage everyone to experiment with, and even those of you who are consider yourself not to be artists, this is a very easy step-by-step painting practice, and it isn't about the end result, it is about the process. And so I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and take a minute to welcome in that new energy of exploring what a spiritual path looks like through your creative spirit. Let's see if we can awaken that creativity within you. So for today's practice, what we will be using, I have an 18 by 24 canvas here that I started with, but any size really will do, and any surface. You can do this in an art journal, you could do this with watercolor, it doesn't have to be acrylic paints. I will be using and showing you the process using acrylic paints. I like them because they cover over really well if you find that you have areas that you're not real pleased with. And you can always reuse that same canvas and paint something totally different on it at a later time. You will need a round brush, and it doesn't matter really what size. I like to have a variety of sizes. The larger sizes help when you're covering the whole canvas, and then the smaller ones for detail is fine. Today, I will be using white and black, basic colors, and cerulean blue, magenta. I will also have cobalt blue, and I had aqua that I used to create this. Again, it isn't about having exactly the right colors. If all you have available right now are your primary colors, you can mix all different colors with those, so you can use that. You'll also need something to clean your brushes, so you'll need a jar of water. I use recycled paint meat trays for my paint palette. You can use a paper plate or whatever is convenient for you. I also like to use a sponge. I have a natural sponge that when I'm covering a large amount and I want to get into a flow, it just feels like it covers the surface for me. And so you will see at some point that I'm using a sponge. But again, use what is comfortable for you. And if watercolors are your go-to, then make sure you're using what you're comfortable with. This isn't so much about the materials as it is the process. So we're going to create sacred space before we begin. And so I invite you to do that in your own special way. Creating sacred space is so important as we want to bring in the vibration of what we wish to create. And so I invite you to use chimes or a singing bowl, or you can simply just light a candle as I have here and take a few minutes to just simply breathe into the moment. Allowing the vibrations to just wave over you. setting your intention for your practice. And we begin our first layer by writing our intentions. So here I went with the I am as my theme. I am unfolding. I am spiritual growth. I am truth. I am connected to source, acceptance, union, oneness, love, and divine love made manifest. Our second layer is where we begin to fill our space with color. In the beginning, I added a stencil. I used the stencil of the Buddha. I liked that idea of the Buddha meditating, and because this is a meditative practice and a meditative symbol, that is why I chose that symbol. While painting, I was thinking about my spiritual path and how it had evolved over the last 6 decades. So in the Hindu and Buddhist tradition, the Unalome represents your spiritual path. And for me, I like to think of our spiritual path as ongoing. I love the quote from Teilhard de Chardin: "We are not earthly beings on a spiritual path. We are spiritual beings on an earthly path." So when we approach our life as a spiritual journey, we can look at all of the different angles that we have taken. One of the things I like to do is use water misting to add a little texture and dimension to the painting. In this case, I found that I used too much water, so you will see later on that I've added some darker blue to add more color back in. At this point, I'm using the extra paint on my palette to paint the edges. As you can see with that layer of darker blue, that image of the Buddha still popped out, and I really like that. As we begin the actual Unalome here, you'll see that it starts in the center and it begins to spiral. I like to do at least three spirals. And then the loops on the outside just represent all the different challenges that we've faced throughout our life, all the different things that have added to our spiritual journey. The twists and turns going back and forth just represent the growth. And as we get to the top, we achieve enlightenment. At least that is the belief of the Buddhist and the Hindu traditions. And so it's this journey of flowing through life, through our trials and tribulations, through the ups and downs. So our fourth layer is adding the details that we are called to. Here you'll see that I am adding a stencil of the lotus flower. The lotus flower symbolizes the rising up out of the murkiness of life into something beautiful. And we are all on that path of rising up out of the murkiness that we've encountered or faced, the challenges, and it is creating the beautiful human that we are. You can embellish your painting in whatever way. I've added some stars and dots representing the light. And I really like how the darker blue formed sort of a womb space. The 3 dots at the top mean that we have achieved our goal of enlightenment. I hope you enjoyed this process. So this concludes our time together. I hope you have enjoyed painting your Unalome and all the symbolism that comes with it. If you would like to learn more about what is being offered through Awakening Creativity, you can check me out at www.nancyzick.com for updates. You can also follow Awakening Creativity on Facebook. I hope to see you again. Enjoy your day.